Okay, so I was watching a YouTube video from the PCGScoin YouTube channel, and the title of the video was "Coin Show Etiquette." And I said to myself, "My God, that's a great topic. Why don't I watch this video?" And it was with Don Willis, and the video was less than 3 minutes long. He gave 2 tips, and I made a comment. I said, good topic, but just poor delivery. My opinion is I think I could do a little bit better than Don, or maybe Don was, he just had time to do those two. I don't know. But hey, great topic. I want to follow up on what Don had mentioned there. So I'm going to make this a 3-part series. Part number 1 is for the general public. Here we go. Coin Show Etiquette, Part 1, 1 of 3, and the title is for the general public. General public, it's your collector, your stacker, your prepper, whoever you are, whether it's coins or paper money. You might be buying, you might be selling. You might just be walking in looking for an appraisal. This is for you. Mr. Willis suggests the patron to patiently wait for the dealer to become available. A lot of times dealers get busy, and you want to give them a moment. Don't interrupt. Be polite. You're there to spend money. They know that, and they want to sell you their stuff. So be polite. They'll get to you as soon as they have a time. And another thing that Mr. Willis mentions is don't reach into a case. I definitely agree. I think that's a very good point. Coin show etiquette, don't reach your hand. Don't just reach your hand in there and start picking stuff out, Say, hey, do you mind if I look at that coin right there? Sometimes they'll open the case up and they'll let you reach their hand in. Always get permission to reach for a dealer's coins, unless it's in a junk box and it's not inside of a case. That's a different story. We're talking about reaching inside of a case. In addition to those 2 items, I also would suggest coin show etiquette in negotiating a price. You don't want to bash the coin. You don't want to say, that coin, it's clearly damaged. It's been dipped. It's cleaned, and the holder is that's a crap company holder. Don't bash the coin when negotiating a price. You want to be polite. You want to say, excuse me, I was wondering if you would consider the following price. This is what's comfortable for me and my family to offer for you. Is that reasonable? Be polite. Another thing when negotiations is negotiating a grade. A dealer might have a grade on a coin of VG, or let's say you think it's a G, it's a good, or maybe it's poor. Don't just say, oh look, that's not even a VG, that's not even a G, that's poor, and again, you're bashing the dealer's judgment. Maybe they didn't write that on there. A lot of times dealers have coins that they bought from the general public, and they just throw it in their case and they look to sell it real quick. So if it says G or VG, that might or might not be their grade. So don't assume that is their grade, number 1. Number 2, give evidence of why you think the grade marked is wrong. Again, be respectful. Don't bash. And that'll go a lot farther in negotiating. Let's say you're walking into a coin show to sell. Here's something that I saw happen. A guy walks into a coin show. He's got a coffee can full of whatever he has. He whisks down the aisle and he glances over at the dealer and he says, hey you, what are you paying for Wheaties? And, it's like, Jesus, sir, pardon me, I'm in the middle of a conversation. This what is he trying to offload Wheaties real quick? And you should ask the dealer, excuse me, are you buying? Are you willing to take a look at my coins? That's good etiquette. Wait for your turn. Don't don't butt in. That's the same thing as what Don Willis had mentioned about being patiently waiting for the dealer. And here's a tip: don't bring in a can just full of various stuff. Sort it out. One coin shouldn't be in a folded napkin, and then another one in a paper towel, and then here's 7 of them that are different in another bag over here. A lot of times that's how it's brought in, but just a tip is to separate that stuff. Okay, another piece of etiquette that I am suggesting for the general public is not to stand and talk in the aisleway, in that common area. You want to make the room for people to be able to walk down the aisle, see dealers' merchandise, move about the coin show, and not have to say, "Excuse me, will you please move here so I can get past?" Be aware of your surroundings. You want to talk to your buddy that you haven't seen in a while, or talk about where you're going to go for lunch or dinner or whatever. Take that conversation off to the side. And especially when considering people in wheelchairs, or even strollers. And here's another thing: if you're talking about strollers and you're bringing your child to a coin show, you got to watch them. Kids must be watched. You got to keep your eyes on them, because next thing you know, they're reaching into some things, they're putting them in their mouths. Keep your eyes on your kids. Know what's going on. Know what they're doing. And that is good etiquette. These are some additional items that came to my mind. And again, this is part 1 of a 3-part series. Part 2 will be coming up next. And I do appreciate you guys watching and listening. And listen, I don't know it all. I'm just giving some additional information for coin show etiquette. So if you have other information that you suggest for the general public, please leave those comments below. And let's help educate everybody. This is John with Garfield Heights Coin Club with video number 1 in the 3-part series. Stay tuned for video number 2. Thank you very much.